In this video, we will discuss the ongoing appeal of the case that Ripple v. SEC is working on. The circumstance is taking significantly more time than it ought to because there are more deadlines coming up. Brad Garlinghouse continued by saying, "Hey, Ripple made a significant error in their lawsuit against the SEC against Ripple. I have you covered, so don't worry about it." Following that, Stuart Alderati made some pretty powerful observations, beginning with the statement, "We are going to look at what Microsoft is about to do with Bitcoin. Therefore, I ask that you please take a seat and relax." In addition to enjoying a refreshing beverage before venturing into the Bitcoin market, Bitcoin's price has risen by 1.05% over the course of the past day, reaching $67,875. With a current price of $2,537, Ethereum has experienced a 36% growth in value. USDT and USDC have both maintained their dollar pegs, in contrast to XRP, which has experienced a 33% decrease in value and is currently only worth 52.5 cents. What course of action should we take now that the total market value of all cryptocurrencies is exactly $2,335 million? In spite of the fact that it seems as though we are aiming for $2.5 trillion, it is important to keep in mind that, as I mentioned in the first video of today, there is still a possibility that Bitcoin will decrease, so it is important to keep an eye on it. There have been reports of analyst attacks and irregularity in the price of XRP, and some traders are taking these safeguards. What a fascinating headline, don't you think? On the other hand, I will go ahead and tell you that this article is clickbait. This kind of document is published for a specific cause, in order to get your attention and increase the likelihood that you will click on the post. After clicking on anything comparable, XRP holders behave in the following manner, and it is highly likely that you will observe the same pattern on Twitter. However, you should not let their bullish headline fool you. While you are in the process of reading, they immediately begin to promote a scam or a shitcoin. We refer to this as the fundamentals of clickbaiting. Alan Greenspan, who formerly served as chairman of the Federal Reserve, is making these remarks. Due to the fact that the value of Bitcoin can never be at a negative value, there is only one conceivable value, which is either 0 or plus. When Bitcoin was first introduced, it was met with ridicule, and it is essential to keep this in mind. Before, it was just worth $1, but now it is worth more than $66,000. What happens is that the rate of change starts to slow down, and you have a real asset and a real use case. This is what happens. At this point in time, a lot of people are laughing at XRP rather than Bitcoin. Then give XRP some time to develop. I am aware that XRP has not done much during my tenure there, and that it has been off of the market for a considerable amount of time nonetheless. It has made significant gains since 2013. Despite the fact that I purchased XRP at a price of approximately 20 cents, I am aware that 99.9% of US did not purchase it when its worth was less than 1 penny. There is no reason why XRP can't move from 20 cents to $6 or even to double digits, according to the reasoning. This is because Bitcoin went from $1 to $66,000. Particularly up until the year 2025. Given that a significant portion of this matter has been resolved and that XRP has been granted security clearance in the United States, we are eagerly anticipating the conclusion that will be made. When financial institutions begin investing in cryptocurrency markets and exchange-traded funds, also known as ETFs, they will give priority to assets that are transparent. In addition to being aware of the characteristics of these assets, they are confident in their potential for investment. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) doesn't need to be concerned about the prospect of an attack on a particular cryptocurrency the next day, because it is still unpredictable. It is impossible to predict what the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) will do before it is too late. XRP has shown you what happens when it is too late to do something about it. At the time that the case was dropped in the year 2020, the price of XRP was approximately $1.90. It was projected that it would continue to rise and would most likely retest the record high that was established in 2017. Indeed, as soon as the lawsuit was made public, I was able to ride the wave that caused the price to drop to 17 cents without selling a single XRP before it was published. I was successful. On the other hand, now that the challenging era is ended, the year 2025 will be different. Next, we need to consider the case that Ripple filed against the SEC. According to the information that we have obtained, the government of the SEC has requested that the time for filing and substantial briefs be extended to the 15th of January. I am of the opinion that the 1st of January was the date. At the moment, this object is being forcefully pushed out. To tell you the truth, this appeal is completely meaningless. No matter if it is delayed or moved to a later date, it will not affect the outcome. We are going to make sure that we don't miss the bull run because the decisions in the case are being challenged. It does not operate in this manner. The fact that there is an appeal does not, at this moment, transform the verdicts, which are all favorable to Ripple, into a position that is neutral. As if it were a coin flip that was still in the air, it is like that. When you are convicted of a crime and sentenced to jail, you are still considered a robber. This is something that I have stated in the past. Even in the event that you file an appeal and argue that you had nothing to do with the theft, you will still be held responsible for the conviction. You must be successful in your appeal in order to overturn the verdict, provided that the court hears it and permits it. Even as the appeal continues, you continue to be a thief. Over the course of the case and the appeal that is still underway, Ripple has been victorious in every respect. The Federal Trade Commission (SEC) needs to convince the judge to change her mind. The assertion made by Stuart Albarati is that Ripple has submitted its Form C, which details the issues that we want to bring up in our cross-appeal. Since this is the case, I do not believe that the judge will change her mind. As we move forward, it is important that we remind ourselves of a few things. There is no need to worry about the question of whether or not XRP is a security end in and of itself in this particular scenario. The difference between XRP and Bitcoin is that the former is transparent, while the latter does not have a security classification. No one can deny the existence of this fact, and there will never be any. Due to the fact that that decision is still the generally recognized legal standard, the SEC is not contesting it. The appeals court looks at the established record, and according to them, ours is a very excellent record. The SEC is prohibited from introducing new evidence or seeking for additional information as a result of this, which eliminates the dramatics that were typical of our litigation over document disputes. As we move forward, it is imperative that you keep the complete agenda of the SEC in mind. Should make an effort to get Ripple and the industry confused and redirect attention away from themselves. To be honest, however, for the time being, it is nothing more than background noise. At this point, we have triumphed over the difficult part of the conflict. Despite the fact that this appeal process is still underway, Ripple's business is growing and getting stronger on a daily basis. At long, finally, Ripple is able to operate appropriately. Since the lawsuit was abandoned in 2020 and the resolution was reached early this year, Ripple has been unable to function normally even though it was settled. From this point forward, they are able to operate as a conventional firm, continue to advance, grow, and be adopted in the United States. I am writing to inform you that it appears that the SEC is incurring a significant amount of financial loss as a result of this cross-appeal. Do you think it would be beneficial to delay Ripple for a year or two in order to avoid losing everything in the cryptocurrency market? Nevertheless, XRP has established itself as a cryptocurrency that is not a security. Therefore, the opportunities available to the SEC are limited. As a result, it is severely restricted. If the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is able to either increase its funding or limit the potential influence that Ripple could have on sales in programmatic secondary markets, then it will be able to benefit from this. It is all that. And that's it. However, the Securities and Exchange Commission is required to demonstrate that they have successfully resolved at least one case. Because they have never been in trouble, they will be able to assert that they have taken a pro-crypto stance in a secure manner, that they have had a positive impact on the cryptocurrency business, and that they have successfully restrained bad actors. To put it another way, it has been successfully beaten 4 times. At the shareholder meetings that will take place on December 10th, Microsoft will put the evaluation of Bitcoin investment up for consideration and vote on it. This is crucial information. Over the course of the previous 9 months, I have been advocating for institutional adoption, and this might be the initial step in the process. The decision regarding whether or not to invest in Bitcoin will be made by Microsoft in a little more than a month. It is important to keep in mind that prior to entering the market, the institutions will initially focus their attention on Bitcoin as an asset. XRP is going to be the second asset that they investigate. Exactly why is this the case? Why are they not paying attention to Ethereum for some reason? No, it's not difficult at all. Due to the uncertainty of Ethereum and the fact that it has not been approved by the SEC, determining whether or not it is a security is a difficult task. Because of this, its current condition is still unknown. Consequently, it will be bypassed and left out of consideration. When it comes to the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, the judgment that XRP is not a security is extremely important because of this. Once that is done, the Chief Executive Officer, Brad Garlinghouse, explains why he thinks Ripple made a mistake with the SEC. He goes on to say that when I think about that, I am sorry that I did that. I believe that we made a mistake by not leaning in earlier, and we are currently making an effort to partially make up for the time that we have lost. In essence, he is suggesting that they should have opposed the Securities and Exchange Commission. They should not have sat back in their chairs. The Securities and Exchange Commission's SE was prepared to approach them nonetheless. They should not have waited for it happening. If they had taken action sooner or